Hello, and welcome to the 17th episode of Last Attempt, a World of Warcraft Guildcast. I'm your host, Squirrelthug, and joining me today on the panel are guildmates Pathran,
What's up?
who has been with us before, and Kyressa,
Hello.
who is here for the first time. And a note about Kyressa here. My first sort of delve into Mythic raiding, which was Liberation of Undermine. Kyressa helped me with my rotation, and I stopped gray parsing, which was great. And now
I am teacher.
yeah. You know a lot about druids. That's for damn sure. And okay, so we usually do a roundtable right here at the beginning. It's your first time here, Kyressa, so we'll start with you. What have you been up to in World of Warcraft for the last week?
I've been trying to push Tease. I've been pretty busy with real life stuff recently, and so I've really let myself get behind this season. I'm just trying to stay relevant, I guess, at this point. I finally got my 3K last week, which it's kind of embarrassing. It's about 8 weeks into the season, but we're doing it. I'm just trying to get caught up basically, and I did a trial for a new guild recently, and I'm trying to push Mythic as well.
Are they what are they at with Mythic on their progression right now?
We're progging on dragons right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what does caught up look like for you when you say that? Because your gear is fine, right? Like you're like pretty geared out.
Yeah. I feel like I've fallen a little bit behind on the curve in terms of eye level as far as higher players. Most of the people to compare myself to right now are sitting at like 286 to 289, barely hitting 283. So I'm just trying to get some of my heroic pieces gone, trying to get some of my gear caught up.
Yeah, well, now that they have uncapped crests, that's going to help a lot.
Yes, that is incredibly helpful.
Pathran, what have you been up to in the last week in World of Warcraft?
Oh, the usual pushing keys.
The key
Trying to do
boss.
raids. The key boss. Yeah, I got up to 288 this week. Got legs and what else did I get? Oh, I got my neck piece too. My best in slot neck, and then my boots are both mythic. So all I need now for mythics are my hands and my trinkets. Which it's that damn feather that's
From
Yet again.
gonna be holding me back. Yeah, yet again. Back at it again.
But
60
this
won't be
time
coming.
you have void cores to help you.
That is
I'm
true.
probably gonna use up all of them on that.
I mean, how big is that table for you? Like 6 or 7?
Yeah, I think so. Let me check real fast. I'm pretty sure it's 6. And I've used one already. And I have one void core right now, so shouldn't be too much. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I accidentally wasted a void core because I was tired and I thought I was in a different dungeon.
Yeah, it's 7. So I have 6 more to go, and I'm sure I'll use every single one of those for that. And then I also need
restraining myself.
I think either I'm gonna try to get the Mythic Gaze at some point too, because we're so close to getting Chimeras.
Yeah.
And I figure that won't take long to get the Gaze because the loot table there for that boss is like very small. It's like only 3 items for my
dang.
class.
That's pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah. So the probability of getting that one's going to be much higher. And then I just need hands, and my hands are a set piece, so any mythic hands that drop in the vault, if I ever get anything other than a one-handed weapon or an offhand in my vault, would be nice.
Yeah. I mean, just beating him, you might get it in vault, right?
Yeah. Or I could get really lucky and get it on the roll.
The first for the first time. Yeah, so there's a few people that have gotten it. I remember day one with the Void Cores, there were several people that reported getting gaze on the first roll.
That would be cool.
That would be nice. Yeah.
But yeah, we also progged Mythic Chimeras last night, and it really made me appreciate like running it with actual guildies because even though we have like some fuck ups there during the interrupt phase, during intermission, like our damage is like top tier compared to like
It's pretty good.
regular bugs. Like, yeah, we got them down to sub 42%. I think the lowest we got them to was like 38% before.
Oh, yeah, that was. I remember somebody calling that out and talking about how we were just pumping, or well, you guys.
Yeah,
I'm always just
and
healing.
then last night when I progged it, like we were struggling to get below 60.
I'm gonna be honest,
So-
it kind of confuses me. Kind of why this guild gets stuck on the fights that it does, because Pathran is right. We have exceptional DPS players. The people in our guild fucking pump. So it's just kind of weird to me sometimes that we hit the walls that we do.
Yeah, I think what the problem is everybody's trying to beat everybody on the parse. We're not worrying about like regular
Everyone's
mechanics.
parsing, no one's doing
Is that what you
mechanics.
guys
Yeah.
are doing? You're all parsing?
Yeah.
No.
I think some of the top people are definitely parsing.
I think so. Yeah.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I get stuck in that little parse thing too. But during like the
when we're dying
during the
to
times
not
when
kicking
like
over
the
and over.
interrupts, yeah. And see, like I can't like save that because I don't have the interrupts to be able to like help very much. The only interrupt I have is from my pet, and my pet has a 24-second timer on interrupt. So if I
Yeah.
cast it and somebody else is stunned or somebody else is gripping whenever I do it, my interrupt is just out the window for 24 seconds, and that's one less person on the table. So what I'm doing is I'm just using Curse of Tongues to slow their cast time down. It slows their cast time down by 30%, and it's helping my side out, I feel like, fairly well. Every time that I've been doing that, the side that I'm on has done fairly well.
For a quick
being able
cast,
to
that's a lot. That's a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I also have Blight of Tongues, but that's like my big cooldown for that, which decreases the cast time by 100%
Whoa.
for 12 seconds. And I usually do that during like the third because everybody's like all over the place at that point and trying to recalibrate themselves.
Yeah.
But
I think
I
that's
mean,
the only wall, right? That we were running into is those kicks because of the mechanics and the other. Also, something that was pointed out, we're doing this with like 1 DK. Like
we
2
only run
sometimes.
1 DK in this new guild that I trialed with, and it was just fine. I think
Yeah.
I think our strategy needs tweaking a little bit, to be quite honest with you. The way that we did it in this other guild was it made it brain dead easy.
Dang. Might have to try out that new strap. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna record it this week and see if I can show it to you guys and see if we can like figure out some things to steal from them, basically.
Oh, dude, this is just like Bring It On when somebody's like right in
Yeah,
like
but it's for Warcraft rating.
and you're stealing the
I'm not
dance
stealing
moves from the other high school and you're bringing it back and like we're dancing like the black girls. Bro, it's exactly like that.
I feel like with like strategies and raids and stuff, it's a little more, I don't know, open source than that. It's not like I'm not stealing proprietary company information by like
Hey,
showing my friends
to be
the strat we're
to be
using. You know
fair,
what I
they weren't
mean?
either, right? Like that was the argument that they had made. Hey, like
Oh
you don't
my
have these
God.
copyrighted. Like this is just a dance move. Like you know.
What are you gonna sue me for dancing?
And you know we always kind of reference what we're doing as like a dance because it's choreography. Everyone has to really sync up. It's
This is the stretch of a lifetime.
yeah, no, I mean I've always called it a dance. Like it's definitely something that everyone has to practice, and once you get it down, you're good. So jokes aside, yeah, it's helpful to really just get any kind of. I mean, the tactic that we had used for Laura to get that down. Um, somebody was like, "Hey, let's just try this." And I know it was like
Yeah,
the strat, that people were talking about, but like, just trying that out and
I
being
think we
open to
just need
that.
some little tweaks, to be quite honest with you. We're almost there. Did you guys
Yeah,
end
So
up assigning kicks?
I
no, we
think
did
so,
not.
but not an MRT.
Not before like the first ones. Like there's two
Like the
people who
initial
have the first, yeah,
spawn?
the initial, yeah. And after that it's just, and that's what we're running into problems with is like I feel like a lot of people are overlapping. And that's why I also
Yeah,
suggested that we have group 1 and 3 into a different voice chat than group 2 and 4. That way we can
just to
call
keep
out,
comms clear.
yeah, keep comms clear and we can call out when we got that kick so we're not overlapping.
Yeah, that was. I think that was a pretty decent idea. Just because when if you silo the groups in that way, you don't have to stay silent. You don't have to like only talk when it's necessary. Like you can actually like openly coordinate.
Or
Uh, you
yeah,
know,
as silent. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
obviously, you only want important information being
for
on the
sure.
comms.
But like I just feel like if it's just group one in a group, right, in a chat, like you'll be able to. And mind you, right, like there are other strats and things that people don't have to do that for. So that people have like different ideas about how they want to approach it. So it's like we'll have to figure that out as to where the guild or leadership, right? Because it's mostly Scourge, I think. The raid lead kind of just takes the lead on that one and just decides what we're gonna run. Templar has been doing that for us lately.
Yeah. Templars really stepped up with like the call outs and everything.
Yeah, yeah, especially in Scourge's absence.
Yep.
So it's been really good to still have a raid lead and still have somebody for callouts because it's very helpful, to have some of those things because not you don't need the UI to just call everything out, or every kick or every this, right? But like sometimes it's nice to know when one group is going to go here for a soak or not. And those like nuanced calls are not something that you can just program into the UI right now. So it's nice to have somebody able to help out with that. But yeah, like dude, when we got down to like 1 or 2% or something for like chimeras, because we got them
Yeah,
pretty low a
that was
couple
a
times.
really good pull. Everything
There
was
was like
so
a
clean.
few in a row, where the kicks just went smooth. It was the kick phase, right? It's the only time there's ever like a hiccup. It's that phase, and
It's
it's pretty
it's the
difficult.
whole
There's
thing.
some things that really just kind of slip you up.
Yep. I mean, there's a lot of movement there. Like you gotta be moving, and with us having like multiple different casting classes, like people are having a hard time getting that down, and then getting back into place for the next interrupts.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a scramble, and then you gotta you gotta go back.
And then there's also the damage check on the main ad too. Because we've had
Yeah,
a few times where we had all the interrupts, we just didn't meet the damage check on the big ad because we were too worried about the interrupts.
dang.
So it's like a pretty good balancing act there. I mean, I
Until
like
we
the
get more
fight.
gear, right? And you can focus on the kicks a little bit more, and it'll still be taken care of. And just out
Yeah.
gear some of these mechanics.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm basically to max gear at this point. I mean, I can only get a few more item levels at this point.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to get a percentage increase tomorrow too.
Oh, we are. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's every week, right?
Yeah.
Yes, 1% every week.
So we're going to be 1% closer.
I think it does have a cap.
That 38 is going to be 37. Yeah, 15% cap.
So, um, I wanted to move on to the first news item that we have here today, and it's on the 12.0.7 PTR. There's a bunch of things we want to mention that are coming in with that patch, and there's a note that we wanted to mention that Turbulent Timeways got pushed back from June 16th to June 30th. And some speculation that we'd had before the show was that there's a chance that this is a direct, I guess, direct evidence that they're delaying the patch, which we haven't really seen something like that happen, right? And especially after 12.0.5 was pretty heavy with bugs and a lot of controversy attached to that, and the way perhaps Microsoft is choosing to handle this a little bit differently, or maybe they're giving them some more time where they were getting that request denied from before. Um, we'll get to what's coming in the patch, but what do you guys think about that?
I think that there's definitely like somebody in there in Blizzard being like, we need to push this out as fast as possible. And then the people that are actually creating it are like, we're not going to be ready at all by this time frame. Like if you want it out, it's going to be buggy as hell like last time. So yeah, I think the tech people went out this time. But I think that it won't be as buggy where they are pushing it back.
I mean, Templar had pointed out in one of our previous episodes that 12.0.7 isn't coming with nearly as many features and such as 12.0.5 came
Well,
out
they're
with.
coming out
And
with that whole
so,
raid, aren't they?
I mean, it's a raid.
It's a one
And
boss raid, just
there
like
may be some
Chimeras.
things that are in there buggy with that, but there's like a team for that, and I'm sure that they're on top of that with only having like one boss, one place. But they are like the Void Spires have invasion zones, right? Like there are places that you can go, like almost a whole new zone. I don't know how big they are. Um, there's there's a bunch of not a bunch of things, but only like a couple things that are coming with this. So the list is really short, whereas 12.0.5 came with, I believe it had decor duels in it, right? That was like one of the things.
I feel like that's a pretty minor feature, though. I mean, there's not a lot of rewards from that, and it's a really kind of just a mini game thing.
Yeah,
I kind of
plus that
feel
was
like,
mostly exploits.
yeah, I feel like 5 and 7 have pretty similar amounts of content in them. I think the heroic world tier is gonna add a lot more than people are expecting.
Well,
In
we had a lot of class
terms of,
changes, which is
yeah,
what where all the bugs came from. And we had the void core system kind of like laid out, which was for 12.0.5, which is like it had a that was more of like a table system.
that's more
Like
of a like a catch-up thing though than actual content. Like we're getting, I mean, we had the ritual sites and the void incursions, yeah, but like we're getting two brand new. I mean, they're not huge, but we're getting two new zones. The whole heroic world tier that just opens up world content again to everybody, essentially.
okay.
And then you also got to think like how they're distributing loot for this mythic, heroic, normal, new raid is a completely different loot table too. Like it's all going to be like war bound.
You
It's
know what?
298 tier 2 in Mythic. It's going to be higher
Yes.
item level.
They've done a lot of changes on the PTR since the initial look that people have been able to have at the loot table and such, right? Initially, they did have it all warbound, and that was a change that went in. It switched over to regular loot, just sold, buy on equip or buy on pickup. But it had randomized stats, and so people were thinking that that might be something that they do with this. But in the last few days, they had pushed an update, and they now have like stats, so they're not randomized anymore for the loot that's dropping. So there's a pretty consistent table of loot and like what's going to drop like now, and they've kind of like fleshed that out, but it's not going to be anything that's drastically different from what we have now, except for what Kyressa had mentioned with I believe it's spore infused or spore fused or something like that. Like it's like there'll be a tag on your tooltip to show that it's empowered.
Everybody's going to get a. I was seeing some people talk about whether this was going to have a. Because if you add new gear, item level gear, in the middle of a season, everybody gets a and then rating cutoffs like Mythic Plus titles inflate drastically. So I was seeing people speculate if this new rate was going to affect the Mythic Plus title cutoff very much, and the common consensus among key players is that it's not going to be that big of a power spike. Everybody gets a trinket, but the trinket kind of sucks, and everybody gets a mid-core stat
So it's not like
piece.
gaze.
No, it's a trinket, but it's a trinket. Um, and then the tier pieces, or not the tier pieces, I'm sorry, the armor pieces that we get, everyone's gonna get like a medium budget piece like boots or bracers, and then like a higher budget piece like chest or legs. So it's gonna be overall about probably a 3% to 4% increase.
Okay, that's not a crazy
It's not
spike.
drastic. People were freaking out about the title cutoffs, but it's really not going to be that big of an upsetter, even though they have drastically higher item levels.
So now that we have the stats locked in, like people are already like we've got tables and
Yeah,
doing
people are
prep.
simming shit already. I
Great.
mean, you know how World of Warcraft players are.
Wonderful. Love it. Okay. So speaking of that that patch, so it does come with the Sporefall Ray, and the Spore Fused pieces are 9 items item levels above their regular upgrade tracks. So, you know, at the end of a heroic track, it'd be 9 higher, which is basically what the new Anvil does, right? The Ascendant Void Cores.
Yes, or I think
It
they're
adds
either
9.
close to the same item level as the Void Core pieces are going to be.
Yes. Yeah, if you get a heroic 6 out of 6 item out of there for some reason, or you like level it up all the way, like, or I think it just drops. And like if you get a heroic piece, it just drops 6 out of 6 plus that 9 item level. If you get a mythic piece, it just drops 6 out of 6 mythic plus Spore Fused, which is the extra 9 item levels. And you get 9 item levels from the Ascendant Void Core system for your weapons and trinkets. But now, because of the '07, there's a few more item slots that you'll have that'll be a little bit higher, but not everything.
So are you going to be able to catalyze all these things?
I think any of them that are the
Yes.
appropriate one should, yeah.
Yeah.
About they can be catalyzed to change the stat distribution on them.
Yeah.
So that's nice. And you got that nice, 298 piece. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Hopefully it doesn't suck for you.
Well, I haven't actually taken a look at the fight, or what kind of mechanics that they're coming up with this one. So, but I also haven't heard anybody talk about it. So I don't know that there's anything like really extraordinary coming with the Sporefall raid mechanics.
So
Other
has there
than the
been any
Mythic
word
Flex,
on if they're going to be doing a race for this one?
No, nobody's said anything. And what were you saying, Kyressa?
the Mythic Flex difficulty that they're putting in this raid. I mean, I don't know if the fight has anything interesting mechanics wise, but the fact that we don't have to have 20 people going into that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's going to be interesting because if, like Pathran was asking about if there's a world first, I think on a previous episode we were speculating that perhaps the achievement for world first is like you got to have 20, so nothing changes for
Requires
them.
non-flex.
Yeah, but literally
That wouldn't be,
everything
because I
else.
could see Mythic Guilds cutting down to 10 and just trying to.
Well, it's 15 is the lowest, right?
Oh, is it? I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
looked
15
much
to
into it.
25.
That's not bad. So
So, I mean,
that'll help guilds with the roster boss a lot. I'm very excited for this
yes.
change, to be
Because
honest.
if you only make the world first title, you have to do it with 20 still. But every other achievement and everything else is flex, and that's fine. I think that,
I
like you
think that's a
said,
fair
like people
trade-off.
will adjust, Because then you still get the race, you still get the suspense that comes from that. I know Blizzard loves that. And then we all get the opportunity, like you said, the schedule boss.
Blizzard's still trying to make WoW an esport in 2026. Please
It's
pay
gonna
attention to the race,
happen.
guys. Please.
Dude, it's gonna happen. The band's gonna make it.
The band's gonna make it. He won't have to go back to McDonald's, I swear, Josh.
The, another thing that we're getting is the Omnium Folio, which kind of interesting. It's we're not getting something that goes into a gear slot this time. So it's just going to be probably going to pick up pieces from questing or some system that they figure out that we have to do and grind out. But it's got like 3 slots, and so we get to play with like upgrading it
It
in
says
different ways.
it says runes. What does that mean? Is it like you swat it into a talent tree, or
The initial rune gives you some sort of ability. It's like shadow damage and such, right? And then the next runes like they give you buffs for that. I think one of the ones that Pathran was reading on the initial one, because it was actually on the episode Pathran was on last. It was like 50% um, more shadow damage or void damage or something like that, and that damage was coming specifically from the first rune. So you get like 3 runes, and I guess depending on your class and spec, it will probably, it feels, it almost sounded like they were gonna play it like the Cersei Circlet,
Yep.
if you remember that from Siren's Isle,
that's kind of what
but we don't have to wear it.
it looks like of Cersei Circlet and the Do you remember the little talent tree they gave us for the cloak? The
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 Rishi
Reishi
wraps?
wraps? Yeah,
Yep.
it
Yeah.
looks like that from what I'm seeing from its UI.
So, yeah, that's
It'll
but
be
it's
cool.
but it's not a piece of gear, which I'm excited about
No,
because I
which is very
really
nice.
hated the disc belt.
Yeah, I'm tired of getting player power that replaces a gear slot, so I just don't get Nexus expansion, or I don't get to wear a cape this patch, or
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't wear the disc belt. Like it was
I didn't
much
use mine
better.
either.
Much better to wear it. Like stat wise, everything. Everything said I should wear that. And I still chose not to because it was such an inconvenience. I didn't like it. But yeah, so this is a good change. I'm really liking that they're going in this direction. I hope that they keep this and this isn't just like a one-time thing. The invasion zones, the Naig tail, I don't know how to pronounce those really well, but they have with the new heroic world tier, and they come with 2 new world bosses, probably a world boss in each one. Have you guys gotten to see what that looks like? It doesn't look like a big map.
They don't. They remind me of the map in for I don't remember what the event was called, but the Bronze Dragon event in Dragonflight. It was like the weekly event. You went in, you went to a little invade, did some stuff, and then you popped out of it. They're very small.
Okay.
Is it going to play out like an abundance thing where you have a time limit?
I
Or
don't
a
think so. I think
completion?
you go into the zone kind of like Siren's Isle, and you've got like a bunch of little objectives you can do. You just kind of finish them at your leisure, and then pop of the portal zone when you're finished.
Oh, okay.
I believe we were going over that on the last one with Siles and Templar. And if it's the same one, when you go in there, there's like certain things you can pick up. They're like laying around, and you'll get temporary buffs for like 5 minutes. Um, so there are things you can do with that. There's also like a debuff for where you're being stalked, and there are these like warp stalkers, these warp riders riding around warp stalkers like around the map. And as you're killing and doing objectives and like just doing stuff, your debuff upgrades from stalked to hunted, and the warp stalkers, kind of like the prey system, they'll just join the fight on like one of the things that you're doing. So you have to jump into combat, just basically continue whatever you're doing there already, and they'll join the fight, and you kind of, and like that's the boss. Like that's kind of like what you're working up to. So it's almost like the same sort of gameplay loop that they have with the prey system, but they've sort of expanded it into this a zone type of thing.
Mm.
So that might be interesting. I'll
Yeah, that
definitely
sounds
try
cool.
to check it out, but I haven't really done much except for like raids and Mythic Plus, and so it's hard. I haven't even done any of the Void Assaults yet, but I should because I'm sure that there's something cool there.
There's a lot of cool cosmetics, but I'm really confused about it, to be quite honest with you. I haven't done much of it, but the fact there's the incursions, and then the assaults, and then the ritual sites, and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to.
Yeah, it's hard to. I haven't even approached it, and I talked about it here on the podcast.
But I want all the cool cosmetics.
Right? Like I'll figure it out at some point. It seems because they're like putting those kinds of vendors and stuff in there, like the void assaults are just there to stay, like just part of the zone, you know. So you can come back next expansion and do it later. Speaking of next expansion, or well, just story going forward, we have the Janalai egg hatching. It's a short story. Quest chain following Loa Fire's return, ending with a baby dragonhawk named Emberlyn tagging along on your future adventures. So the this takes place in Solomon, right? This is a zone right next to
Yes.
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 So in the jungly area there, this is going to happen over there, and something that I heard somebody mention on one of the other podcasts that I listened to, I forget which one, or I'd give them credit, but they were mentioning kind of anecdotally how they've noticed that the .07 patches kind of seed the story of where we're going in the .1 patches, and you know, or the next version patch, right? Um, and we've kind of had speculation of like that we might be going to Zolomon or we're definitely going to Zolomon in this expansion, but um, nobody really knew when. And I think that .1 is going to be that. And we're going to get a lot more stuff to do in Zolomon, and there's the island that's like covered in mists that we can't get to. I imagine that's going to be something that like opens up. And I believe what was data mined before was a sort of like, I don't know what kind of event it is, but if you achieve whatever you need to achieve in the event, you get a buff from the Loa, and so it's like a really strong buff.
So
Is that like a permanent thing just for that zone?
I don't.
Yes.
It's a really small island, so I doubt.
It's
I
like
doubt
it's
it
like a
would
void
be.
storm buff thing. I just don't think you can take it off the island with
Oh,
you. Um,
oh, that's a
so a little bit
bummer.
of war nerd information. We heard during the Zula Man quest line that the isle across the way there that you can actually still see on the map even in the very start of midnight, that it's called the Isle of Serpents. They data mined. This is probably a little bit spoilery, so I don't know if you want me to keep.
No, go for
I
it.
don't know if you'll cut this or
No, we don't have nearly
So
enough
they,
people who listen.
that's fair.
I'm sure they don't mind.
The zone itself is called Atoll Tech, and we were told it's the Isle of Serpents, but we know that there's a snake Loa named Ulatek. They
Was it
already accidentally
Northrend?
yes. They accidentally
The
data mined
tail?
the raid, and the Warlock set is called Raid Warlock Ulatek. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we're going to Atoll Utek for 12.1.
Yeah, that's. I hope that
It is the Gundrak snake, by the way. I think that's what you're thinking of.
yes. I hope that when we go back to Northrend next expansion, that the developers and Chris Metzen and everybody remembers that. You know, because the community I think has speculated about that
Yes.
before Midnight came out because they were kind of like, "Oh, what's going on in this island over here? Is this a snake? Like,
Yeah,
what's
why is it literally
you know?"
on the map already?
Yeah, so that's exciting. I hope we get some sort of follow up, but because I
Zula Man was so
remember
good.
the zone.
I'm excited. Yeah,
Oh,
the
I love
zone
the
and the
zone.
story. So
The
I'm so
story.
excited to
Oh,
see the conclusion of that storyline in the next patch. I'm oh
this expansion has been great, but Zolomon was a standout zone. The story
it was
and the
incredible.
way that they do the cinematics, like
Yeah, I think I had my most fun doing that part of the campaign.
yes, Eversong Woods is just like more elves. And it's like, I don't know, I've been here before. And Void Storm was just a bunch of, you know, it's the Dominar quest line. And it's
I'm
like,
tired of these elves,
okay.
Grandpa.
Too damn bad. Uh, but Zolomon was, it just, we haven't gotten cool troll stuff in a while. And this feels like cool
This
troll
was the
content.
epitome of cool. troll content. I mean, oh my god, it was so
Dude,
good. The tie-up
did
from
you?
the previous raid and just like going through the whole zone and trying to like atone for the sins of the past of the Amani. It was so good. They handled it so well.
Did you listen to the narration by the voice actress who did the Zolomani leader?
I didn't know. Didn't know there was
Yeah,
one.
right when Midnight released, they were like dumping a whole bunch of media, and like Blizzard was going crazy with this stuff. But
As they do.
one of the things they were doing like a lot more than the normal though, and it seemed like more like very rich media, and it seemed like Microsoft was like really dumping a lot of money into whatever Blizzard was doing, and so we had gotten, I think it was like one for each zone basically, and there was a story about who were the two mages, the Void Mage and then the Blood Elf who were always like fighting. They,
Moth and Umbric.
yes, the boyfriends.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You could cut the tension with a knife, dude.
right. So the two of them, the Void Elf, he voiced, the voice actor for that one voiced a story, and it was it was about an hour long. And the same thing was, there was something for Eversong Woods, I think, or that was the Eversong Woods one. There's something else for the other zone, or some other story. But I remember that they did one for and I hate that I forget her name because I haven't been back to Zolomon or any of the zones since then. But she voiced the story. It was about an hour and 20 minutes, or an hour long, and I cried like 4 times before the end of that,
That
like
was
at
me
work.
doing Zula, man.
Dude,
I cried like 3
dude,
times in that zone.
I prepare yourself then. Go and find it, look for it. I'll have to find it in the notes for the previous podcast, but
It might actually be more interesting to go back now, knowing the context of the zone,
dude,
because it might hit
it's
her.
oh, even without that story, the way it was written, hits so hard. Like, just what dude, it's so good. It's so good. When I first listened to it, I was like, if I was an evangelist. It was that
That's a
good.
way
I
to
was
describe
telling
it.
everyone. I was really just rooting for that story. I loved it so much. I just thought it was so moving. And I'd listened to one of the other ones, the Romoth one, and it was cool. I liked it. I didn't hate
It
it,
didn't hit the same.
but it was not anywhere close to it. And I think it just probably, maybe it was just like the familial things that it was like touching on. Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think you're gonna, dude, find it. You're gonna love it. It is an hour though.
I mean, that's fine. Just gives me something to listen to while I do water changes. So
Yeah, not in front of people. You will cry.
no, I'll close the back door. I'll
There
cry
you
in my
go.
fish room in silence.
So the next one for this patch, the Turbulent Timeways that we were talking about being pushed back now, that's going to be Dragonflight. And so when we bring this up on the last one, it's only been,
Is it?
yeah, it's been long
They put
enough. Dragonflight
Dragonflight in
is
time
now.
walking? That's crazy.
It's on the PTR right now.
Wow.
A lot of those dungeons are I I don't I don't even know if I a lot of people say they used to call WoW after Cataclysm new WoW, but I really feel like WoW is now WoW 2.0 after Dragonflight. A lot of the new quote unquote new, god, it's been 6 years at this point, dungeon.
Professions? Did the new
No,
profession thing happen there?
yes, yeah, they
So the
changed the profession,
tables
but the
and
the
the talent
design of the
system?
dungeons
Oh,
changed very
really?
drastically. And they started really designing dungeons for keys, I think, in Dragonflight. So I'm
Oh.
not surprised that they're adding them to the time walking rotation really fast, because I feel like Blizzard thinks that Dragonflight was like their magnum opus of dungeons. The Dragonflight
Well,
dungeons have been in a lot of seasons of Mythic Plus since they released.
how many expansions had it been out? Right, from Legion, right? So it was Legion
3
and BFA, and then
Shadowlands after.
okay, yeah. Yeah,
Warlords had dungeons.
but
Right.
not
Yeah, but
Mythic.
Warlords was in. It took them a while to put Warlords in Time Walk. I think that's just because they were scared to touch that expansion after what happened. So it's like Pokemon never showing Jinx. Like
Yeah.
they're scared to bring up WoD because they don't want the backlash again.
I mean, people were even speculating about like, or asking the question if they were going to do a Wrath of the Lich King Anniversary Edition. It's like that is like
I'd be
hands
shocked
down
if they didn't.
people's, number one
That's what
expansion.
brought
Like
most of the
people who don't
players
even
that
play the
I know.
game say it's the best.
Exactly. Most of the people that I know that went back to Classic went for the eventual Wrath launch. Like they were like, yeah, I want to start playing Classic because they might do Wrath eventually. Like Wrath is
Yeah.
like the golden child to everybody. So I would be shocked if they don't roll Anniversary into Wrath. Maybe not, but it's
I can
definitely going to go.
see people jumping in just for Wrath, and then Blizzard getting a huge influx of players buying the character boosts because they have
Oh
character
yeah,
boosts for Classic now,
I'm
right?
gonna be one of them, bud.
You're not
Take
gonna
me
level
home
now. You're not gonna
back
do it
to
early.
Wrath. I might, but I feel like I kind of don't have time with how much time I have to
Oh yeah,
put into
I
retail.
still want to play
My
Classic
boyfriend started playing
hardcore.
Classic. I mean, he's playing Classic next to me right now. And
Oh,
I
nice.
I want to play so bad, but I
Dude,
don't have the time.
have him level your characters while you're at work.
Yeah, you're right.
Dude, say, hey, log in, multi-box, learn. We're both playing shamans now.
No, we shaman, you don't understand.
Oh, Pathran, you probably have never been multi-boxed. You've probably never been rolled up on by like 6 shamans.
Oh god.
No.
Bro, Storm Peaks, I
The
remember
20 boom. There was a guy. Okay, back in what is that god awful expansion? Warlords of Draenor. I couldn't remember where Storm Shield was from. We had a Moon Guard who multi-boxed like 15 druids and would
Oh
run
my
around
god.
Ashran and just nuke whoever he decided was getting fucked that day. Like he
Yep.
just 15
Yeah.
moon fire spam. There's nothing you can do.
Dude.
They're all stacked on top of each other. It looks like it's one moonkin. Like
Yeah.
it's not.
It's like walking around in a mech
It really is.
and everybody
The
is a foot
ones
soldier.
that are the mining bots piss me off the most. Seeing a train of 15 birds come off of a mining node, nothing makes me angrier in this game. They're always from Ragnaros too.
Something about that server.
I know.
think
I
Pathran's
don't
got some.
understand why it's all the bad players and also all the bots simultaneously.
Well, how do you think those
I
players are
think
getting their gear? There's
I
like
think
no
it's
other
just
way.
because it's the biggest. It's like the Latin American
Oh, it's like the only one.
version of Paris. Yeah, I mean there's like
Yeah, it's
6
like
or
the only
7
one they can go
servers,
to.
but it's the only one with people on it, and so it's just
Yeah.
fucking giant, and that's why there's so many bots from there because it's like I'm sure other people think the same about bots from Sargeras. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So speaking of the crest caps being removed, that was this last week. Blizzard removed the weekly hero Dawn Crest and myth Dawn Crest caps. So it's no longer capped at 1,000 on that ceiling. Have you guys just like have you noticed it? Have you started like upgrading gear? Have they just been flowing in? I haven't done enough mythics to really have been even nearly caught up, so
I'm
I
so
wasn't really
behind
at the
at this
cap.
point that I haven't been close to cap on any of my characters except for the first few weeks. So it's probably going to affect me now that I have more time to grind, but it really hasn't been a problem for me at least for 3 or 4 weeks now.
Pathran, you're always running keys. Have you been capped?
Oh, it helped me out a lot. I got 2 mythic pieces this week, and I'm like, man, I'm not gonna be able to upgrade them. And then I found out that there's no cap, and I'm like, fuck yeah. So I just grinded out some keys and did it.
How
Do you
many do
think
you
it's going
get
to
per
make
key?
item levels shoot up a lot? Sorry.
Well,
Right?
it depends on like what key level you run. I think at the 10, the max you can get is 14. But I mean it goes up uh every key level you go up. So like 11 will give you 16, 12 will give you 18. You know, it just
Yeah.
continuously goes up. And where I have resilient 14s, I got my crest pretty fast. Just ran a
What were
few
you saying about the high
14s.
level, Kyressa?
I was curious if the unlock of the crest cap was going to make or how did item levels jump up quite a bit. Has it
Yes.
do you feel like it's affected people a ton, or is it like are you seeing a high item level people now?
Yeah, I mean, most of the people that are 3,300 right now are like 288 minimum, 287, 288. And then I've seen people all the way up at 290 at this point.
Nice.
Something that's tangentially related to the crest cap being removed. A lot of the conversations that I've had on this podcast have covered the general topic of gear. And while there's been a lot of other things to talk about, and there's been a lot of things in the news cycle, and I kind of pick and choose a lot of the time, I don't do everything. So there are a lot of things that I just like miss or that I skip over. Um, but a lot of the stuff that I've seen has been on gear. And in general, it seems so. For example, I have much less time to play this season than I did last season. And this season, I have way more gear than like I've ever had. And so it seems that we're not only getting mythic gear really fast and really easy. And I initially thought that that might have only been to catch players up to the very quick and short cadence that we're on for the patch cycles and the expansion cycles. But the more I think about it, it seems that there might be like a focus on like keys here because now that you can just run tens and get mythic pieces of gear, 1 out of 6 mythic, but now the crests are uncapped, right? You should have all mythic at this point. If you're pushing keys, you probably have all mythics right now. And before, you would have had to go into like raid to get like your best stuff, right? Or like to get really good gear.
This
Yeah,
is week what?
it's like midway through the season. I think it's week
Yeah, I
12.
mean, yeah, without like good RNG, yeah, you definitely have to do at least some mythic rating. Uh, on
They've
previous
definitely a
seasons.
lot away from sorry, go ahead, Pathran.
Yeah, I was just saying that the mythic gear is much easier to get this season than it has been previous seasons, for sure.
They're definitely moving a lot away from trying to force players to have to raid to get gear. I mean, maybe being able to bonus roll myth pieces straight out of the dungeons instead of having to wait for your vault, I'm sure has sped up gearing for a lot of people. The bonus rolls just straight up being in the game instead of being in like the 0.7 patch is really nice as well. I hope they continue to push bonus rolls and catch up content like this in the patches going forward because it's made gearing isn't the challenge of the tier anymore. It's actually pushing the content now. Like I'm not constantly chasing pieces, even though I haven't really had time to play the game. I'm still pretty far. Like Eowyn said, my boyfriend is pretty casual. He really doesn't do a lot of raiding. He kind of just I drag him through normal sometimes if you'll let me. Other than that, he does LFR and delves and that kind of thing. This is probably the most geared he's ever been. He's almost. I think you're almost heroic level, aren't you? You're 60, 70. I mean, it's just so free to get gear now that it's
Yeah.
taken it out of the time equation and it just lets you focus on pushing content. Probably, I think you're right for keys. It lets people get into higher keys easier and to actually experience them for the first time, be able to push them and not getting cock blocked just by their item level.
Yeah, really early on, there was a PvP trinket PvP neck that you can get if you committed to it for 4 weeks. You could also just do it right
Yeah.
at the end, which is what I did right before raid, and I got the neck just
Wait,
in
you can do
time.
that?
You could just slam it all. It doesn't matter. It's not. It's
Oh,
just. It was time gated. That's all.
so good for them.
It was so good. And, and the Tuesday it unlocked for the final one, I just went and I did them all. And I did them all through what is it? This is the bot one, the training one. It still counts. So
Well, that's
it's
awesome.
like comp stomp, but it's like an actual feature in PvP now. So you could just run those and you'll obviously win. And then you just, you take the W's 4 in a row and you keep just turning the quest in the same spot. And then, after a few of them, you get the neck. And for me, it was a great neck because it was like one of the only necks at that time that was itemized for like mastery and haste in the combination that I needed. And there was like one maybe other neck that had that combination. So even though it was a PvP neck, technically, right, it was still a heroic level item and it had heroic level stats. And those stats were really good and they were genuinely like rare for the combination for the early in the season one. So that was just from a quest. And the PvP requirements for it were like non-existent. Everybody like the new feature was let's comp stomp, right? Like so everybody knew
Yeah.
or knew of like the easy feature to do that, and you knew that it counted. And so in the next patch in 12.0.7, Decimus has a quest for us where over the course of 4 weeks we can do certain things for killing one or two of the heroic world tier bosses and like the challenges and stuff that we have in there. So you get up to the boss at the end or whatever, just doing the world content that you're probably going to be doing anyways. And uh, after 4 weeks, you can choose one, and it's a mythic piece of gear.
Wait, that's
Ooh.
crazy.
So, yeah.
That's also
So
really good for
you
health.
know,
Fuck the heroic
again,
necklace.
yes.
Never mind.
So I think it's like pants, a cloak, and maybe gloves or something. That's like the
Ooh, they're
choice.
big pieces.
So it's I only saw a screenshot.
Can you catalyze them?
I don't know,
Because
but
that
maybe.
is top tier. I'm here
Yeah.
for that. I'm here for the welfare gear. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not somebody that I have to earn my gear. Nah, fuck me. Give me the high item level. Let me be strong.
I think it works well. I think it works really well because, and the reason I was even thinking about it being a keys thing was because a lot of the people that I know that like push keys, like have talked about the gear and the way that they feel about it in that way, where they're like, I feel really good, I'm geared out, I'm ready to go, I'm really just pushing content, I'm really just like pushing how far I can go with these things, right? Like playing with different specs kind of stuff, like that's the game that people want to play. And I think
Yes.
there was sort of a fear from the developers and that like what was the game that just came out at the end as like the War Within, and it was basically Mythic Plus but without an RPG attached to it.
That is Fellowship.
Yep, that one died out. It's got like 300 concurrent players right now.
That's
So not
crazy.
very many. Right, but it was huge. People were going after it because of that, right? And I think Blizzard might have before in the past thought that if they give gear too quickly and do these things and it's too easy to do whatever, that there's not enough complexity left in the game to like stick around. But I think that especially like with this season, they're starting to see that there is enough of the system left, especially if like keys they just keep going up, right? And you'll cap on gear, and then now you're just pushing. Now you're hitting the ceiling, and you're like playing around with your spec and playing around with compositions and stuff.
Dude, and the raid this season is fucking tough. So I mean,
The
if you're
aura
just
is tough.
sitting there, yeah, if you're trying to sit there and raid, then you're definitely going to be on it for a while.
Yeah, we got a lot more. We got some pretty high pull counts for a lot of the bosses that we have, or some of the bosses that we have here, which is like an abnormally high pull count for some of these, especially considering that it's like a shorter season than what we had like before. Um, I think, yeah, there's just a lot of discussion going on around like the tunings for that. But yeah, you're right. Like people are sticking around for more pulls from raid bosses for more weeks. And then you have like, I don't know, just this other side of the game with the keys and such. And there's enough complexity there to keep people around as well. And that's all that Blizzard wants. They just want us to stay in the game for longer,
Yeah.
you know?
I think that's
And
why the
then
gearing was like it was for Rime, because it was just a really old, archaic, leftover time sync system from,
Yep.
vanilla, I guess, and they've moved away
Fucking
from it a lot
EverQuest. We'll
recently.
blame EverQuest.
Yeah, no, anyway, it's a holdover from vanilla to get you to continue to, pay the sub, but I think they realized that they can also do that by incentivizing people to be sweaty at endgame. I think that Midnight has
Yeah.
one of the best or not Midnight, I'm sorry. The War Within had one of the player retention rates towards the end of the patch, just because of how Mythic Plus was prioritized in the expansion. And Midnight, usually people start to peter out by the middle of the season. This game is still as alive as when it launched, as far as I'm concerned. I sign up for a key on Tuesday, I get 300 applicants. Like, there is a
Yeah.
ton of people playing the game right
Yeah,
now.
we're not seeing the downturn because I mean, even
Everybody
Liberation
has
of
been
Undermine
full
halfway through
geared
that,
for
yeah.
weeks, and people are
Yep.
still playing. Just because they realize they can push things at endgame now, and there's reasons for me to want to strive to go higher and higher, other than just getting better gear.
Yes. Yeah. There was a host on the another WoW podcast, the Starting Zone, who had pointed out that he didn't enjoy getting to the end of the season and like barely having gotten all like the last of his best in slots and the last of like this piece or that piece, and like finally getting to like reach and realize the fullest of his potential, and not from like buffs that are going out, world buffs or or debuffs that are going on the boss or the raid or any of that other stuff, like just from you and your power specifically, only
Exactly.
seeing it realized at the end, right? Like
I've
and
been
this
chasing this
new,
trinket for 17 weeks now, and I'm about to quit the game because it dropped once and it went to somebody else. Like, nobody wants to be in that
yeah.
situation.
right.
Yeah,
And the
so
fact they added
getting that
bonus
early
rolls
is nice.
right from the get-go, so you can target specific miss
Oof.
items and not spend the whole tier hunting items, and instead spend the whole tier
People were
trying to
so
push the content
like
that you want to do, is so much better.
people were so hesitant about the void cores. Like they were like,
They
okay,
were.
but like how's it gonna work?
It's
Okay, but
gonna
am I gonna
ruin the
get it?
loot.
Like, so you're saying I'm gonna get gear 100% of the time? I push the button and get a piece of gear, guaranteed. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. That sounds too good to be true. And nope,
I
like
just
it
see people
is.
singing its praises now. I saw a lot of speculation about it being unbalanced, or that it was gonna
Mm,
add additional grind, or it was gonna, the cost was gonna be astronomical before they had released what it was on PTR. And
yeah,
that I
5K
also
ain't
saw
nothing.
people complaining that it was going to make rating and keys irrelevant and all this bullshit. Now I see nothing but people singing its praises and being like, "Thank you for not making me hunt gays for the next 6 weeks."
Yeah. Yeah, this is being able to. I know there's a bunch of people who used it on Chimeras because it's such a
Most people do.
dude. It's like 15% of some people's
Yeah, I was
output.
gonna say, I think it's best in SWAT for most people. If it's not
Yeah,
best in SWAT, it's within your top 3 trinkets. It's crazy. Why do they
yeah.
do that? Why do every tier there's always a trinket like that? What is the purpose?
They like to see the fighting. They like to see the infighting. They
They
want to
like the
see
drama.
guilds just implode.
For
I
sure.
don't know. That's crazy.
It's
Um,
sometimes I wonder how much internal testing they do on the numbers. Like, obviously they run some stuff, maybe on an Excel spreadsheet where the calculations are a little fucked up, but
as per their
just
admission,
they have to
their
know that
test
one's
environment
OP
isn't the
like this.
same. They can't test everything.
That's crazy. There's not that many items that release in a raid tier. I mean, at the start of the expansion, maybe I stand, but like, test your raid trinkets. They had to have known that they were gonna do this. I mean, they do it so consistently that there's no way it's not an intentional design to
It's
do
by
this.
design. I'm sure
It's
it
gotta
is.
be, but for what reason? Other than the
For
drama,
this
literally.
right now
Yes.
to get you fired up. So on to our next news item, we have there's a juvenile frostworm and a Wrath of Lich King anniversary speculation because of that. So it's like I believe there's like a pet that's coming out, and again, like I think we were talking about this before. Is like it's just a speculation that it's coming out. Like it is hands down the greatest expansion, in my opinion, and in many other players' opinion. It's the best experience. I enjoyed it so much. And I totally understand the fun that I have in this game today. And I've never done mythic rating or really serious rating before last expansion. And so like I don't even have the same kind of parallel to draw like between those, but like because I wasn't rating in Wrath, and it was still for me a really great expansion, and that was the questing was great, the experience through all of that was great, the Wrathgate event was amazing, the PvP was awesome, like that was like the first time we got big vehicles and stuff like that, like that was really cool. Just the world Northrend was amazing, dude. It was great. So I think it's a safe bet that we're gonna get the anniversary of it.
I
Do you
think
guys have
they'd be
any?
stupid not to, honestly. They're
Right?
just losing money if they don't. I was surprised that they moved Classic Anniversary into TBC. I thought it was just gonna be another like try to milk the vanilla players one more time kind of thing. So to see them moving into TBC, TBC was their least popular classic server. It
Oh,
kind of just confirms to me that if they wasted the time on TBC, it's because they want to do Wrath again.
I
Because Wrath
think
was the most
yes.
popular, other than Vanilla.
I feel like people are on TBC, maybe not right now, but they will be getting there soon
2 level
because
for
of the
Wrath.
anticipation. Yep,
Yes,
because that's why I'm
I
going to be
will be
there.
doing that.
So, yeah, I want to. Yeah, that's gonna be a big thing. I see a lot of people coming back to play the game just for that because I know the last time that Wrath had ran on one of the classic servers, that's what people did. They came back just for Wrath and they left when
Yes,
it was done.
they didn't even play Vanilla. They just came back solely for Wrath. I think that'll happen again. I definitely think it'll happen again. I know that some of my friends that uh did play Classic, but primarily played for the hopes that they would eventually do Wrath, and then eventually spent all their time on Wrath. Are going to come back to Classic for Anniversary Wrath if that
Oh yeah.
launches.
I mean, some of the friends I started playing this game with, they were like my high school friends that I still know, and I'm thinking about like, hey, you guys should come back for the anniversary. It's gonna be great.
When I was the office manager of that CPA office, our receptionist was a TVC Classic player, and when the anniversary launched, I tried so hard to get her to come back to the game and play with me.
Oh, she resisted the call of the
She did.
siren.
I tried, and I ended up leaving that job, so I couldn't continue to whisper sweet nothings of, "Hey, TPC's actually coming back this time," into her ear. But
It's gonna be real. It's real.
it's real this time, please.
Um, so yeah, yeah, I think we can definitely expect that to be back.
Oh yeah.
On our on our next news item, there was a hero talent tuning pass. I don't know if you felt the effects of this, either of you. Um, well, I think that they
Feral
skipped.
damage increased by 4%. It's still at the
Yeah.
bottom
Oh no, really?
statistics. It's not. We unironically need the opposite of the unholy. We need a 20% buff.
Ooh, wow.
If you want to feel real depressed, go to the statistics page of the draft logs for the last 2 weeks and look at how far behind Feral is every other spec in the game. It's not great, Chief. There's a reason I'm playing Evoker this patch.
Dang. Wow.
I don't think that 4% buff is going to be enough. I think that the fact that it's only 4% is a slap in the face because it's still going to put us at the bottom. Maybe actually playable now, it's not a viable spec for me to be pushing with.
Yeah. Yeah, not when you're like, it is
It's
a
doing
little
okay in Mythic
unfortunate.
Plus, but it's not great.
One thing I had noticed because I've kind of just been keeping my eye out for outlaw rogue buffs because I just don't think that they are at a place where they should be. But maybe I'm like wrong about that, and it really seems that like Blizzard is actually happy with what Outlaw is doing, and so yeah, mostly there's that one is just like a really finicky spec because there's a couple spells that if you don't hit them on cooldown, like the every like second that you're not hitting that, it compounds, like what you're losing compounds against you like really fast. So you have to be really, really quick, and you can't have any weird overlaps that disallow you from being next to a boss to actually use those abilities. So mobility is really high on that class, but it's still it's a quite a bit to manage in a fight where there's a lot of things that you have to move around. I think when you're doing like Mythic Plus, if I just did Mythic Plus, I think I'd be fine. Because with Blade Flurry, the cleave on that, like, dude, the numbers are great. It looks fine, no problem.
They
Um,
want I almost called it combat, dude. Holy crap. They
listen,
want Outlaw to be that high APM spec still, but the problem is they also made every class in the game 4 buttons. So while it's
yeah,
that high APM class, it has to focus on very specific interactions within its kit, and so they accidentally made it the hardest class in the game. Like, what they did to Outlaw is actually a travesty because it was in an okay spot in terms of fluid and how it felt to play. Its numbers just weren't. All they really needed to do is do some damage tweaking and just kind of bring it up to where it needed to be. Maybe improve its single target a little bit. Maybe not make it so reliant on roll the bones, but instead they turned it into a spec where you have to be a StarCraft 2 player.
yeah. It it's weird because like when you're playing it, there are just like with the other classes, there's a meta that you need to keep in mind and things that you need to prioritize over other things. But like, it's almost like it's like a buff chaser. Like when you get
Yes.
a buff, like that shifts your entire stack. Like you had a stack, nope, not anymore. Wipe that whole table clean and
Your
rebuild the
entire
stack.
priority shifts depending on
Do that spell first,
RNG.
and then now that after you did that spell that the buff gave you, like maybe you get another one, like
Yeah, I don't
and
I
when
don't
that
think a
window
lot of
is
Outlaw
over, you have
players are
to.
very happy with the state that
It's
it's in right
so
now.
weird to chase stuff like that because often it doesn't end in your favor. When
No.
when you're outside of that window, you end up in an awkward position with either your energy or like what spells you have available. And I don't know. I've sat there at the dummy and kind of ran through some of the things, but it's just it's different when you're moving, and it just it works okay with crowds and a cleave spec, but I don't single target, which is like mostly raid and what I want to do. It's like it's not great, and I just wish they would do something about that, the single target aspect of it. But this hero talent thing was specifically for hero talents. And one of the things that Blizzard was mentioning in here was that they wanted to um, they wanted to bring the hero talent specs like in line with each other. And I think that regardless of whatever the output for Outlaw is, the hero talents that they have are like they're closer to each other. And so there's no
Yeah.
disparity there, so they didn't touch it. So like this is not really a giving buffs and debuffs and like in any or nerfs in any way like that. It's their focus was like laser focus on just the hero talents and bringing them in line with each other and not really a consideration for like outside of that. So that's a bummer for Outlaw.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's I don't know. I'm not haven't played Rogue consistently since BFA. I mained Rogue for quite a few years actually. During like mop-ish to Legion. Uh well, kind of main Rogue. It was I usually have two mains every patch expansion. I play one main character, which is usually my druid, and then another like primary alt. So I played Rogue pretty heavily for a long time, and I wrote what they did with Outlaw when they changed it initially. But the state that it's in now is just it was like they've done another full rework on it, but it just doesn't measure up where it needs to, and I think it needs a lot of tweaking to be able to get it into a state where it feels good to play again, especially for people that have been playing the spec for a long time, because it's a used to be.
I've played.
Have you
Go ahead.
tried assassination?
Yeah, I honestly haven't played very much Outlaw since it initially launched. I tried it for a couple tiers, but I primarily play sub.
Yeah.
Assassination right
Well,
now is fucking pumping on keys.
is it? Is it?
Yeah,
Is
yeah. Well, I
it?
mean, on the higher levels for sure. Like when I get a rogue in there, like I'm having a hard time keeping up with them on the like big pulls.
I just rolled a survival hunter,
Oh, these
and
rogues.
Yeah. Cleave.
I'm doing more damage than my Feral Druid in 245 gear, which
Yeah,
is
survival's
that
been real
survival
good.
hunter is fucking pumping. that class does a
Yeah.
lot of damage right now. It's gonna get nerfed so hard.
Beastmaster is not doing too bad either.
Yeah, it got some buffs
in
recently,
Beast.
and it's not doing too bad either now. Marksman's in a pretty decent spot now too.
Yeah, they switched stuff around and it's more playable at this point.
Yeah,
It's a little weird to shift the meta like that, like so drastically, kind of in the like middle of the season where like specs are becoming viable, you know. But I've never.
I think they like to do it at the end to try to help the people that play off meta push a little harder. I mean, there's people that won't play
Okay.
anything but Beast Mastery Hunter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The role players.
Yes.
Well, I did that for a while. I like only played subtlety,
I did that
on
too.
my rogue.
I'm talking shit because I am that player. I mean, I'm playing survival now, but there was a long time where I only played
Yeah.
BM. Fun side tangent on that though. The first time I ever got 2K in Arena was playing MM Hunter in Mists of Pandaria, one-shotting people with aim shot. Best time of my life.
Dang. Wow. So you were one of those guys.
Oh my, full cheese.
for my first hunter that I had made, she's a beastmaster, and like that's it. Like I'm never gonna change it. I have Skull and Hati, and I have them both out, and I can only have them because I have Beast Mastery, and that's it. Like that's the reason why I have that character. If I want to play another spec, I level another hunter, which I'm working on right now.
That's crazy. Hi.
I'm not. There's no point in having this character unless I got both Skull and Hati out.
The full roleplay, dude.
Dude, it's yeah, I love those wolves. They're awesome. Also, I have both of those names tattooed on my knuckles in like runes, Viking runes. So I'm like I have an affinity for those puppers.
I feel like I got like super spoiled last season with the MM Hunter because they were doing so fucking good. I felt like I could go into keys and just like carry the key with the DPS I was putting out.
Yeah. Yeah, you were.
They just.
I hope they make MM good again because I miss you playing Hunter, dude. You pump.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good time. Well, I'll probably just get back onto it next season if they don't do too many changes.
This season being like the first like full season, or well, I guess Maniforge was my first full season of like trying to push, but we didn't really do much Mythic in there. Did a little bit, but it's I haven't really had a lot of experience with that. But like now, like getting into it, healing has it feels it's weird that a spec like a talent spec that's not very much different from the one that I'm running right now can make a massive change in what my gameplay is like. And so I think it was Kyressa had like posted a spec change, and it went from was it the Guardian or not Guardian? It's like the Restoration spec, and then there's like the one with Wild Vines.
Oh, Wildstalker, yeah.
Or yes, Wildstalker, and then and then the other one for restoration and such. That one wasn't viable anymore, and so we had to go to Wildstalker. And I was like, oh, okay, like I didn't know that. I hadn't been keeping up with the news, and I grabbed that spec, and changing nothing about my gameplay, I was just able to do what I was trying to do, but with ease, like with no effort.
Is that why
I
your
was
healing jumped up so much? You took that
yes,
talent spec out of guild chat that I gave Konimi?
yes.
That explains a lot, because your healing all of a sudden, you went from like 85, 90k to like 1v1ing Stram for first place every poll.
See, the thing is, it's always something like that that's like in my way, and this season has been unfortunate because I haven't had as much hours like to put in as I did last season.
Do you
To
know
just like
about the big rotation changes for Resto Druid? I know that I taught you War Within stuff, but do you know how like Swiftmend and Life Bloom have changed and stuff like that?
I do. So basically, like my focus on that is like because the way that I had saw those ones is they were kind of like they were combinations that were like tied to each other,
Yeah,
and now the only
yeah, they
thing,
kind of made it a little mini combo spec. I like it a
yeah.
lot. It's fun.
But now it's just was it Swiftmend or Nature Swiftness and Convoke is the only two things that I keep together.
Yeah. Does that still
And
work?
really it's yeah, it's the little thing where it
They
doesn't
still
eat the
haven't
Nature
fixed that.
Swiftness. It feels like it's by design now.
It's probably, yeah, I was
Can't
gonna say it's
change it.
probably one of those bugs that they aren't changing because it's so
It's
core
now a
to
feature.
Resto Druid healing. Yeah, exactly. It's just become a feature.
Yeah, so that's just always a combination, and so that lines up pretty well, pretty easy. But then you have, was it Wild Growth is your tier set, so it's on cooldown, but it doesn't really do much, So it's you do it because you have to, and it's your tier set, and there is a bonus there, so you should do it on cooldown, but it's not really like
It doesn't put
doing
out the numbers that it feels like it should.
for
Being
being
your
on the
tier
tier
set.
set,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
It should be pumping. I should be changing my
I don't like
playstyle
that most
around,
of my
you know?
healing has to come from Everbloom. I don't like the way that
Yeah.
Everbloom plays now. It's going with it a bit.
Yeah, like managing, that's really the thing that's basically all I'm doing is I'm just trying to
Constantly managing Life
refresh
Bloom and Swift
at
mending
4
yourself.
seconds.
Yeah. Are
Just
you?
at 4 seconds I just
Yeah.
refresh it somewhere in there, right? Like that's it. That's like the management.
Yeah, but if your
But
uptime isn't perfect, your healing is just non-existent, and it's
yes.
awful.
So, but that one's been easier to manage than. So, what I was doing before I took that spec, is because I was on the other hero talent, I was struggling to get to and stay at 12 stacks of abundance, and so I would
With the
get to
Swiftmend
near,
change, it's so
yeah,
easy now.
I would get to near 12, or I'd get to 12, and then I'd have cooldowns that I had to push. I have to push the wild growth. I have to push the Life Bloom is about to expire. I gotta hit that, and then by the time I'm done with the maintenance buttons, I'm down to 6 stacks. Now I gotta build back up to get the discount I want for my regrowth, and I'll never go into my pumping phase. And then
Yeah.
when I took the spec change, I am always at 12 stacks. Always. I'm not even trying. It's just a passive, just doing stuff, and I have 12 stacks of abundance. And now it's so much easier to just focus on keeping Life Bloom like the stacked up on my target, and I'm just pumping like regrowth when I get the chance. And it's just so much easier to play the spec when you have the right talent trees.
It's crazy how much of an impact
I was fighting
the
for my
small talent
life.
changes. Yeah, literally.
Fighting for my life at
And you
80K.
probably didn't change very much. I mean, I think you were playing Keeper
Nothing.
before, but
I literally changed nothing. I changed nothing about my
yeah,
playstyle.
nothing about the core rotation. It's literally just your
It's just
talent
so much
interaction.
easier to do. I was just able to do it. Before, I couldn't do it. And now, I nailed it every
There's maybe
time.
something to be said there about how much impact the meta talents have on a spec. My boy's one of those people that I know I keep bringing him up, but he's like my only good reference for like a casual LFR player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he likes to do the D&D thing and build his own talent trees and drives
Oh,
me
that's
fucking
cute.
crazy. It is, but but it always, it doesn't,
If
it
he's
doesn't
just in
work very well.
delves, it's fine.
Yeah, it is, but sometimes we go into normal raid and everyone's like, "Why is this druid that you're bringing damage?" And I'm like, "Listen, buddy, I love you, but you need to change your talents to the WoW headset." And he goes, "Okay," and then he does 50k more damage the next pull. He does nothing
Well,
about his
what do they
playstyle. He's
know?
great at balanced druid. Like, he's a fantastic druid player. He just doesn't always have the right talents, and so he does literally fucking 30% of the damage he's supposed to do sometimes. It's crazy how
Dang.
much it affects things.
Yeah, talents are huge.
He says vibe coding his talents.
Huge.
That was great. Yeah, no, but it changes gameplay a lot, you know, and it's crazy that like I basically didn't change anything about what I was doing in the talent spec.
Yeah,
like,
no,
shot me up.
it's insane.
So do
Yeah, it's
restos
an interesting game.
still like use their Apex talents?
Oh, we do. It's all of our healing now. That's what the
Oh, okay.
the Everbloom I was bitching about is. You have to keep your life bloom uptime at above 95% because every time you refresh it in its pandemic duration, it does a big burst of damage of healing to 4 players near your life bloom.
Yeah,
So you have to just micromanage your life bloom now to make sure that you're
and
always
you
refreshing
got to
it for
keep that
that
guy
burst.
hotted up,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Like they got,
yeah.
yeah,
Also, your every single one of the hots that you have on the target with your life bloom gives you an 8% chance to make a bloom and do the ever bloom healing. So you're just fucking micromanaging whoever has your life bloom and also healing the rest of the raid, and it makes me wanna
yeah.
do bad things and not play this spec right now.
I like the way it plays. It's basically it's what I've been trying to do all season long, but it works now, and so I'm happy with it.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a really big life bloom used to kind of be a set it and forget it thing.
Yeah.
They changed it to being 3 stack way back in the day. So to have it be kind of the playstyle change has kind of been a little bit jarring for me. I'm having a bit of a time adapting to it. I'm doing okay as far as healing goes. Like I'm keeping up. I'm doing 120 to 150k when Squiffy isn't sniping all the priority healing.
Boy.
But I have a hard time keeping up on the meters when he's in the group, and I think that says a lot about healing parsing and how fucking irrelevant it is. Cause your group can be just fine. Everyone's doing great. No one's taking damage because one healer
Yes.
is sniping all the
I
priority damage, and all of your other healers are now grade parsing.
yes, I
Only one
think
healer gets to do good at a time, and I hate it.
that's a weird thing about the healing parse numbers that I've never really gotten a chance to like. And you know what? For our listeners, because I know we probably forgot that we have listeners right now, but we are on a podcast, so we've
Yeah,
got
we are
people
yapping.
listening.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. This is fun. So this is great. So if anybody out there has like any questions for this, like when it like okay. I have a brain fart because I'm retarded. What were we just talking about? So I know what question I was gonna
Rest of
ask.
druid.
Healing parses.
Healing
The
parts.
healing
Yeah.
parses, that's what it was. Okay, I'm gonna edit me being retarded out.
No,
So for
definitely keep
healing
that in.
parses, yeah, I I have always sort of had this question since last expansion when I started playing with Second Attempt. This is the first time I've been trying to like push content with anybody, and trying to like heal, it's like I'll do my best and I'll do like what I think I'm supposed to do or what I'm being told to do or what the guides are telling me to do. But what it seems like is happening is that if I were to just be able to take one of these healers and kick them out of the raid, would we be really struggling in some of the phases? Yes. But would all of the healers in this group parse really high? Also, yes. And it's
I
like there's this thing about having maybe like it's not too many healers because you do need them because when you get that spike damage, all four are needed to keep you through that. But outside of that, you don't need all four.
that isn't even speculation. That's literally groups parse. If you
Okay.
form a group for parses, you run 3 healers and run 15 DPS. They
Yeah, that
take
makes
out that
sense.
4th healer. Like you said, there's sometimes there's not enough damage to go around. So if you're trying to push those, you
Hmm.
have people taking more damage than they usually do.
Yeah, it's so strange, and there's not like a weird ceiling like that on DPS. So it's really odd to like stack the ratings and such against each other like that. I mean, also like obviously I change the spec, I go from like 80 to 120. So there's like a difference, obviously a difference there, and that's making a difference in the raid and how I'm playing the class. But in terms of like how I parse or how, I don't know that should be. I don't know. I don't know how do you make
It's
that even, or how do you like have like proper
you kind
representation
of
for how
you
well
kind of
you're doing?
can't, and I think that's a lot of the reason that people kind of mostly disregard healing purses. As long as you're not like gray pursing, healing purses are a little bit irrelevant.
Interesting.
If your group,
That's a
if
different way to think
your
about it.
if your group isn't taken because every mechanics correctly, your healers are gonna parse really well, nothing to heal. So I feel people really tend to look at especially when you're joining a guild and trialing as a healer, people tend to look more at your ability to actually like your how you actually physically heal, how you're doing during a pull, um, how you're reacting to damage spikes. Is the group staying really low after big damage spikes? Are you using your cooldowns efficiently, rather than what the pure numbers on the meter is and what your color of parse is? And that's a really
Well,
unique
Interesting.
healer thing too.
I know too that this season, especially, there's a lot of dispels and a lot of like extra things that healers have to do other than healing. And
Yeah.
that's what really for keys at least, that's what really sets people apart from like good to great healers is the
Good
ability to know.
healers do a lot of utility too.
Yeah, utility is huge on keys,
That
especially the
utility used
higher
to be
keys.
damage.
Yeah, they've moved away from that a lot. I see a lot of
I see a lot of people upset about it, but I like it.
yeah, I don't like the Final Fantasy 14 gameplay of having to DPS while I heal. I'll be honest.
So you don't
That
want to
really
play
turns me
Mistweaver?
off. No. That's a big reason why I don't play Mistweaver, is because I don't want to do fist weaving. I like doing cat weaving, but I don't like being required to do it in a key. I will say that I'm
Yes.
very upset that it took away our kicks, especially because healers are so
I'm with you on
reliant
that
on
one.
utility in Mythic Plus now. It's not just healing.
I
We
should be able to
really are
still
doing
skull
a lot of
bash.
CC. Exactly. Give me my kickback.
Give me my
Like,
come on. I know you wanted. I know it's the paradigm they want for healers,
but
and I
why?
just, dude.
If they're pushed to do utility, why take? You're just it's anti-theatical.
I think it's because of what the situation we have right now, the responsibility for kicks is completely and entirely on the DPS. And I think tanks have like interrupts and stuff too, but like
Tanks hugely. Tanks should have the most interrupts out of anyone in keys for sure, 100%. And then it's DPS, and then the healer's priority is dispels. I'm pretty sure you all have stuns, right?
I
Some
mean, I
sort of
have a
stun or
stun.
fear. Yeah. To like slow enemies down, because Nexus Point is big on that with the sludge that goes and fills up the big mobs. If you don't slow those, then they're gonna fill.
Oh. Yeah, so having like crowd control. Like it's
Crowd
really
control.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, in terms of like what people's abilities are and like what compositions and stuff you bring to like like a Mythic Plus, I've noticed that certain places, certain compositions that I go to, or maybe it's just the players, the tank will take almost no damage. And now I'm basically just healing the the group. And sometimes the group is really good at not taking damage or using their cooldowns or using their abilities and such. And or if they're just kind of like off healing themselves, you know. And there's like nothing for me to do. It's like there's a couple times where I've like, oh, I could just like cat weave right now, like completely my choice, and I'm not doing nearly any damage, but I was doing no healing, you know. And so it's like, oh, this group like almost doesn't need me, but
Yeah,
my experience in different
I do
keys
feel like
is
a cheerleader sometimes in hierarchies. Like there's points where I need
Yeah.
to pop out and actually heal.
That's
Like
what
I
it is.
can
It's the high
kinda
keys.
and I can kind of predict where the damage spikes are going to be at this point. I think that just comes from experience of the dungeons and doing them more. But
Mhm.
like half the time, I feel like I'm just sitting there doing nothing, and so I
Basically
turn
a bard.
15k DPS, pretend that I'm helping.
Were you with us when we ran that 4 DPS and tank last season on the
Yes,
7?
I
And fucking
it
like
was. That was
we finished,
amazing.
dude. Tazavest Streets,
Three
which
chest and
is
wait.
like, dude, super 3-chested it. We finished it in like 10 minutes, and Streets is such
Oh my.
Yeah, no,
a long
we
dungeon.
slammed it. Did 4 DPS
Yeah,
for the tank.
slammed it.
It was funny as
We
hell.
didn't heal it. We needed no healing at all because we all knew what we were doing. We weren't standing in shit, and the AOE there wasn't so bad that we couldn't like heal ourselves through it.
The
And as
fact
long as
that I
you
was
weren't standing in shit, you could just
playing
skip through it.
Feral, and I think that we had a paladin too. I think we were kind of just hybrid healing our way through it. So
Yeah.
good. Also
was good.
reminds me of
That sounds like fun.
the 5 Guardian key followed 6
Oh
hours
my
later
god.
by the Guardian nerf.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, that was what, like a week ago?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
2 or 3. Dude, that was funny.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, when you give them that much damage, what do you think was gonna happen?
Dude, and it wasn't even a low key. Like, it
That
was a
happened
20.
in
Oh yes, that was dude.
with Guardian a lot over the years. Specifically, remember it. I think it was Mogushon Vaults or Throne of Thunder when it was current got done by like 20 Guardian Druids.
Aren't blood decays kind of like that too? I
Yes.
remember they were in Wrath.
Do you remember the Blood Decay that used to solve everything?
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. I love Blood Decay.
Yeah, there was some crazy hijinks with like weird compositions like that, like a solo single thing composition. I know there's some people who will do like a fun raid at the end of the raid with their guild at the end of the season, with like all one class. But these are more just like exploits.
Yes,
Taking advantage of Feral
blatantly.
Druids. Yeah.
It was a high key too. It was like a 19 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, Pat says 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 20. It was a 20.
It's fucking insane.
Insane.
It's crazy.
Would have been deserved in that case. Yeah, probably just an exploit at that point.
Yeah. That's how you know Blizzard watches logs, and when they see something stupid like that happen, they fucking fix it
6
real
hour nerf.
fast. Yeah.
Bro, they went at lightning speed. They were in it.
They said, no, this isn't happening again.
They'd probably been watching
Again.
it for a while. We're like, alright, pull the ripcord, it's over.
There was like one last news item that we had here about like the hotfixes, and it was just like some really minor things with Druid and some audio stuff, and Unholy and Disc and Prot. They had a couple things. Oh, and PvP bloody cap tokens bloody token are uncapped, so you can
The 16
get as many
people
of
that
those
do
as you want.
PvP will be very happy.
World PvP is doing pretty good. Like there's an add-on that allows you to like do the crate farm with like a 40-man
That's
group.
pretty fast
and, like,
leveling too.
it's
Did that
easy
on an alt
now
one
with
time.
the add-on.
Yeah.
So now anybody can do it, and there's groups going every day. You can get a group every day, and sometimes you meet the other 40-man alliance group or the other 40-man horde group, and like you fight it out, and it's like actually fun to like heal in a battlefield. You know, you don't really get that lately, but yeah. So there's that. But have you guys been watching? I haven't, but have you seen the Mythic Dungeon? I think it's international.
I haven't watched it yet. The finals aren't coming up until the beginning of next month, right?
Yeah, June 12th.
Yeah.
To the 14th, I think. Yeah. So yeah, we were gonna do I was talking to Kyressa here about that too. Try and do a broadcast. So for anybody who's listening to the podcast here, we're gonna try and get a sort of Twitch broadcast where we are doing basically just calling out, you know, whatever we see in the thing, kind of talking about the strats that they're using, And I know you guys play a lot of Mythic Plus, so it'd be interesting to have you guys on there. I don't play nearly as much, and I don't have the stuff memorized, but I still just wanted to do it. I thought it'd be fun.
Would we be
S-
able to live stream it to the audience?
I
Or is
am
that
That's
going
like
what
to
he's
live stream
doing.
it
Yeah,
on
he's
Twitch.
gonna broadcast it.
okay?
But if you want to live stream, like, go for it. What I was actually thinking is like, um, Twitch has this thing where you can like combo stream with people, you know. But I think you have to. I think you have to be like a Twitch partner or some like weird thing like that or whatever. So I don't know. We might do it in Discord and just like stream that screen over. Because I think like the combination thing, yeah, like it's like a partner thing or something. I don't know. I have to look into it a little bit more. But for right now, it'll probably Discord and I'll stream that screen into Twitch, and we'll have another screen that's also on there. That's the MDI tournament, and we're kind of just gonna cover it and just talk about it, watch the runs, watch them like compete with each other. Um, yeah, it'll be interesting. They have some new rules with the tech, which is apparently is what the people call strats, where they exploit the dungeon.
Oh yeah.
Text.
They're disallowing some stuff. Yeah, they call it. It's like
They're
dungeon
disallowing
tech.
some text. They're disallowing some exploitation in the official
Yeah.
esports broadcast.
Well, in the
Like
rules
the
it
evoker one.
says no, dude. In the rules it says that if your team comes up with tech for a dungeon, you have to, I guess, like record it or something, or somehow explain it and like bring it to Blizzard, and they have like some channel for that, and you have
They
to
have to
send
get
it
the
to them.
glitches approved. This is crazy.
And yes, and you get it approved, and so it's like maybe like snapping things, but they've also taken a stance against snapping and like doing certain things, and
The
so
snapping is
it's
definitely out. I heard that they took a hard line against the gate
yeah,
snapping in Skyreach and the evoker snapping in
yeah,
Algathar.
you get killed immediately now.
Yeah, there's just a kill wall now. It's fucking great. I'm so
I
glad
think-
I didn't warn that before they fixed it.
I think that's so stupid that they do that. I can
Hey,
remember
I disagree.
like
I would like the. I don't like glitches being meta, and I have to learn this weird
Because you
fucking
have
glitch
to
check
learn it, and some of them
to
aren't
do it or
easy.
trolling. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
I
would much
don't-
rather, especially if this is a competitive environment, I'd rather they disallow it and fix these than make me learn how to exploit their fucking competitive.
okay, so I don't know if either of you all played Halo 2 back in the day.
I did.
Okay, so do you
I
No,
know
remember
exactly
sir.
what you're
how
talking about.
a lot of the gameplay back then was all like glitches of the game? Like the
Yeah.
quad shot, the double shots,
Yep.
BXR.
Double shot. The BXR
Yeah.
was the biggest one.
Yeah, and it was all glitches,
Super
and that was
jumps were completely out. Like you couldn't do stuff like that.
right,
But the gameplay of what made you a competitive player was literally learning those combinations, and you
Which
had
were
to do them
glitches.
right. But once you got it down, you got it down, and they were pretty easy in terms of that. But the skill ceiling is there, and it's not in the game, right? Nothing in the game menu tells you that you have to glitch the game with a BXR to cancel
Right.
your animation to be up, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's not in there, but it is the fastest way to get a melee out, right? So.
Yeah, you're gonna
It-
kill somebody twice as fast if you learn how to do all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Like little exploits like that to make the competitive gameplay, like the ceiling for like good and great players higher. I like that aspect because that gives
it made
you like
esports fun.
I mean
It
that was
made the
like
stuff that they
prime
were doing
time.
really interesting.
Yeah, that was like prime time for like watching esports type things. For me,
Yeah,
at
that
least.
it was well, yeah, MLG or right? Yeah, MLG.
MLG,
Major
yep.
League Gaming was
Yep.
like at its height with the Halo 2 phase and everyone like going after that, which is why like all these other people like when people are trying to do the esports thing, they're thinking in their head, they're fantasizing about what Halo 2 had with MLG. That's what they're
Right.
thinking in their head.
Mhm.
But that was like 2005.
Yeah,
Literally.
those events were so huge.
It's 2
And
decades
maybe
ago.
there's something to be
Yeah.
said
the
that
pipe dream.
Microsoft is now behind the reins of World of Warcraft.
Yeah, so Yeah, it's interesting the way that they're doing that. But the race, the MDI thing, the tournament is really interesting this time around because of the way that they're approaching some of the way that they handle tech. Um, but it's interesting for me because I've heard other people talk about this, and I've never watched any of the tournaments, but one of the one of the things that they had they were reminiscing about was a previous tournament where um, basically this team didn't expose the strategy that they had to do some crazy thing. So they had tech that was that only they knew, right? It's like a 0-day exploit. And they didn't use it in any of the earlier matches because it would have gave it away. And it would have given people time to learn how to do it as well because they could just watch the videos. So they pulled it out in the final round. And I think they pulled the victory. And I don't even know who the team is or whatever they're talking about. Maybe it was like Echo or something. But it was just like, there were levels to it, right? Like there's an appreciation for the fact that like you had this thing that basically gives you this like huge advantage, but you were so good that you can hold that ace in the hole till you got to the finals. So you still performed really well without that and were neck and neck with the competition, and then in the end you pull this strat out and you like stomp the competition, and it was just like this big thing, and like watching it there was like a big moment. And I that almost kind of reminds me of the conversation that we were having even here on the podcast about how the world first competition is going and kind of what the tuning for those bosses means for the rest of us as like we're playing the game as like normal people, I guess, right? Without 24-hour chefs and like a 21st raider and like all the other things that they have.
Right.
And an actual person writing add-ons for them on the spot.
Yeah. It's a completely different
Full-time add-on of now being a required part of every fucking Mythic rating guild at the top level is crazy, by the way.
That's great for coders, right? That's a pretty cool job.
Fantastic. Except for the fact that they now have to learn Lua, and I think most of them would rather probably kill themselves.
Yeah, Lua's not fun.
No. I've tried to learn coding
eh?
exactly twice. The first time was JavaScript, and the second time was Lua. Can you tell why I don't do coding?
I just learned TypeScript. I think you'll like it a little bit better. I'm kidding. But yeah, so I think that there's a little bit of maybe some there's something about esports that seems to be like driving maybe what Microsoft is doing. And I don't know if it's just in general overall that our game that we're getting is like just getting sort of like these upgrades or like these attention to detail in these different places. Because up until now, I've kind of not really considered the keys section of the game for what I'm doing because I'm only mostly raiding. But more and more, it really does seem like they're focusing on keys, and maybe a big population of the people who are playing this game are doing that in keys. But I've not heard any news about, Blizzard kind of pointing out. I don't know that they would, but like, pointing out which group is like the most population, right? Because we know it's not role players.
Well, role players are definitely keeping this game alive, but in terms of PvE and game content, I think it's still probably historically raiders. I think they're really trying to push keys as being alternative PvE endgame, and it's attracted a lot of new players this season alone, especially with the new. I think why they're pushing new goals for high-end Mythic Plus 2, like the 3400 mounts and stuff. They're trying to give people to strive for, like they do in Mythic rating.
Yeah.
Dude, and I'm getting close to that 34.
Right.
Are
Where
you? What are you at now?
3316.
Ooh,
Oh my!
you're getting pretty close. How many keys do you need?
Dude,
Getting
one
pretty
solid
close.
18, you got it.
Well, probably the rest 16s to get up to 34. Which I have 116 right now. But once I get everything else up to a 16, that should be 34.
Yeah, I think it's all 16s.
Or it's like all 16s and a few 15s.
Maybe it's maybe just get like 120,
Yeah,
and then you
120.
can just piece it
Just
together
one casual
with
20,
some of the
yeah.
others.
It's
Just
easy.
find an exploit for one and just do
do
that.
a
Get some
20.
tech.
Get some text, yeah.
Just find some tech for one.
Dude, all I'm gonna do is just get a few Guardian Druids and let them run the.
There you go.
Just be there for moral support in the background, kicking things.
I'll just be in
Or
the back
forebears
fucking
tear things
kicking
the fuck
shit.
apart.
Yeah. Eat
This
them
is
up.
why women choose the bear, because they do damage.
Oh my god. No, we're keeping that in.
No!
Okay. So that's that's it for the news. We've gotten all the way through it. This was a lot of fun. We got to have you guys back on here again.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
appreciate you guys coming on. Also appreciate the audience. Appreciate all of our listeners. We have somewhere around like 30 consistent listeners on
That's
Zik, I
crazy.
think.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah. It's only been like a couple months, not bad. So glad to have you guys out there. And again, glad to have our guest host here from the guild. This was a lot of fun. This one kind of genuinely went a lot different than some of all of our other podcasts. I think there was a lot more of like a conversational, just back and forth here. So I had a lot of fun.
I
Yeah, I
yapped a
agree.
lot, I'm sorry, but I did have a lot of fun. Thank you for
No, that's why it was fun.
like
It was
me.
definitely fun. Okay. So before we go, if you want to support the show, the best way is through our Patreon. Every bit helps us keep the production, and if you can't spare the gold, that's totally fine. You can still help in a big way at no cost with our free support actions. You can listen to us on Spotify or Apple Music. We love to see those reviews. If you have anything you want to say, you can say it there. We'd love to see a 5-star review. That'd be great. Also, speaking of reviews or comments or anything, you can find us on our social media accounts. Twitter, or formerly known as Twitter, is now X, the Everything app. Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We are at Last Attempt Pod on all of those social media, so you can find us there and add us, comment, all that. If we get anything from any of our users or listeners, we'll read your comments or questions or anything on the podcast. If it's a hate comment, though, we probably won't read that on the podcast, or maybe we will. If you guys have like a bunch of them, we can gather them up. We'll do like a nice little reading like they do on SNL. But nobody's
I'm gonna
commented
put it on
anything yet,
Reddit.
so I don't know.
This is a threat.
This is the thread. Yeah, then they're gonna come at. Hey, a listen is a listen. I don't care who
And a
presses
comment
play.
is a comment.
Yeah, engagement is what is it?
Something
There's no bad
engagement
press. There's no
Yeah.
bad press.
Exactly. That's worked out for a couple YouTubers, I think, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna be famous, boys and girls. You wait. So, Kyressa, do you have anywhere? Probably not. Anywhere online that you want people to follow you?
Yeah, actually I do. You know, I'll plug it. Fuck
Oh,
it. I have a nothing at all related to World of Warcraft. I'm sorry. I run a business selling and breeding tropical fish. So
nice.
wanna follow me on Instagram. My tag is Featherfalls Aquatics.
Okay, I'm gonna get the spelling from you. You should message it to me,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
when
No,
I do the description, I'll put it in.
it's a waterfall up near where my parents live up in the woods. Actually, up by that lake that I'm working
Oh,
out now. Yeah, so I named it after the
that makes more
local
sense.
kind of. Yeah, I'm a nerd, so it kind of just followed suit, and here I am.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Yeah, we'll have that. We'll have that in the description. In
Nothing
the
related to
yeah, in the
WoW. I'm
YouTube.
sorry, but fish.
Oh no. Hey, the plug is a plug. Last time, Pathran did not have anything for us, unfortunately, but he was getting things ready, and he was thinking about streaming. Probably hasn't happened yet, or has it?
It has not.
Damn.
Pathran's
Okay,
gonna start streaming.
it's gonna
He should
happen.
be good at it, I think.
Unfortunately, they're not going to let you do it with your shirt off, but I think we can talk to them.
Oh yeah, you come to our Discord, you can see a few pictures with my shirt off.
Yes, join
gonna-
the guild.
Join the go.
Listen, listeners, you don't understand. You're hearing the voice and you're like, why would I want to do that? But you look at the pictures, you understand a woman in the skill just thirsting after this man.
Thirsting.
Thirsting! The conversations between me and Daddy would make my boyfriend look at me cross.
He's sitting right next to you.
Pictures, Stan.
Oh, there you go. See, he's seen
Thank
him.
you.
He's seen him. I
I'm
seen
kidding. I'm totally kidding.
it. Yeah, not to make you uncomfortable or anything, Pathran, but we all think you're hot.
Completely to make you uncomfortable, Pathran, but why do you look like the way that you do and then talk like that? I'm kidding.
Well,
You can't be
well,
good
now
looking and good
just
at World of Warcraft. That's not fair. You have to pick
Dude,
one.
right? That is
You have to
yeah,
pick
you
one.
can't be. This doesn't seem to level out.
I guess.
Maybe it's just a lot of good karma.
Yeah.
Maybe.
God loves
Gotta
me.
be. Okay, so well, that's it for plugs. Well, actually, there's me, but I never stream. So, but you'll be surprised when I do. So, if you want to try every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday when I'm supposed to be streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/squirrelthug_. And that link will be in the description as well. So, yeah, that's it for us. Again, appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate you guys being here. And that's it for me. See ya.
Later.
Have a good one.
Awesome. Now we're done with you, Craig.
See you later, Craig.
Yeah, fuck out of here, Beaverbot, or whatever the fuck he is.